Hello and welcome back to Northwest Trenches podcast. There was no intro for this one, so I'm making one up as I go here. Please watch the entire pod. I still censor the first 5 minutes, and I'll see you later.
Oh boy.
Like we are
Anyway,
right
7 Day
near the
War.
end.
Yeah.
So, 7 Day War.
Yeah,
You hear about all those like freak sandstorms and shit?
Darude.
That was like, Israel absolutely should have been decimated, but they're like, we're God's chosen people, and you know what? God showed up that day. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, Logan.
What?
You
What?
wanna know something that comes to mind whenever I think about sand?
No.
The fact that
Star Wars
Mandalorian
episode 2.
shows that Mandalore has been glassed on its surface from how many nukes they dropped on each other.
We should do that to the Middle East.
I agree.
He just agreed with me.
Exactly.
You agreed. You agreed with me.
I know, but
But no,
but we saw it on Mandalore, so it might work on
So
Earth.
there's this other thing with the 7 Day War that a lot of people don't know
Ugh.
about. So like recently, I'm pretty sure we paused funding to other countries except for Israel, obviously, because they pay off our politicians, and
What do you mean we paused funding?
We
I'm
said
pretty
no more
sure it's
funding.
USAID?
yeah, like stuff like that. Like not even the USAID thing, but I think I saw something where we stopped doing something. Maybe it was tariffs. Maybe we're tariffing all these
So,
countries except for Israel and Egypt.
No, we're
right?
tariffing Israel. They're one of the few countries that doesn't tariff us.
Ooh,
And we're still
nice.
tariffing
So
them.
now-
They're like,
Now they don't.
Yeah.
China.
I don't know. There's something. Anyhow, the two countries that I'm pretty sure we pump the most money into is Israel and Egypt. Now, a lot of people
into Egypt.
see I'm getting there. So during the 7 Days War, that was between Egypt and Israel, right? So
It was between a lot of countries, actually. I'll look up the Wikipedia.
Israel
Mr.
and
Beast.
Egypt were the main two combatants in the 7 Day War. Is
Yeah.
where I'm getting at.
Yes.
So the reason that we were
Oh.
pumping so much money into Egypt is so that they don't attack Israel again. And
now
they
they're calling
really
it the
want
6-Day War. What the They're calling it the
Hey,
6-Day
where'd
War
the
now.
seventh day go? Hey,
no,
that's
the
some
reason that we pump all this money into Egypt is because Egypt still hates Israel. They're a Muslim country, and they also have I think it's the 5th biggest military on Earth or something. So, like, realistically, if they attacked Israel, they'd wax the fuck out of them. Like, they
Egypt
would
is the
destroy
6th
them.
biggest military?
5th, I think. They
Huh.
have one
There's
of the
no
big.
f***ing way.
I'm pretty sure,
Did
me
Mr.
look it up.
Beast fund it?
probably, but no. We pump all this money into Egypt so that they won't fuck with Israel because they completely destroy them.
Mm.
Yeah, so, and this might be an incomplete list, but it was Egypt, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, and maybe Turkey.
I'm just here in the background. I'm not
Was
looking
Turkey
this
even
up.
Turkey back then? Or was it?
Yeah, it was.
Huh.
It wasn't like,
It's not
Istanbul
Greek.
or whatever.
It's not Greece. It is not.
I don't know the history of
It's
the
Greece.
Mediterranean very well.
Yeah, Greece. I'm having a stroke. Don't worry about it.
All right, brother.
A stroke of genius.
A stroke of my cock.
Man.
Anyway, yeah, no, Israel should have been absolutely wiped out. There was Egypt was planning a sneak attack, but then you have these freak sandstorms that come in, totally block the, blocked something. I don't know. They couldn't
They
fly their
blocked
or
something.
whatever. Sandstorm comes in, gives Israel time to react. Israel absolutely wipes out their forces.
I lied. They're the 15th largest military, but they are the
Okay.
biggest in the Middle East. They'd still destroy Israel,
Yeah.
which
Look,
they should.
I don't know enough about,
Hot
the
take
whole.
alert! Hot take alert!
I don't know enough about the Middle East to really make a fair judgment, but
Mm.
I don't.
No, you said that we need to glass that place.
I-
You know,
The whole
I
no,
verbalized
the whole
that.
Middle East, yes, like across the board, there isn't a single inch of it we should leave untouched.
Oof.
But if I were to really delve into it and try to ascertain who's correct in this current conflict, I guess my take is on one hand, I understand why the surrounding countries are upset. Because after World War II, we were basically, the U.S. comes in and they're like, hey, this is
no, it was
their
the
land
West
now.
in general. It wasn't just the United States.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it was just we came in and we're like, hey, this is their territory now. And the people that were occupying that territory was like, the fuck? Because it's the Holy Land, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
probably not for,
allegedly.
because they're all
For Jerusalem, right?
they're all
Yeah.
Islamic, I believe, these surrounding countries. But
They are.
yeah. So, which Islam is another fucking can of worms that you could get into. But it's on one hand, I get why they're angry. On the second hand, I don't think Israel's ever been aggressive towards them. They've always been on the defensive.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Because they never directly confront these countries. What they do is Mossad goes in, starts up these rebel groups, and then these rebel groups go ahead and start fucking with government forces, and then they create either a civil war or an insurgency.
Well, I'm just talking
there's-
about known things, not theories.
Well, that's not a theory. That's something they actually do. Like the recent overthrow of Assad's, that was Israel that funded those guys so that they and had Mossad personnel embedded with them so that they could overthrow that regime so that Israel can take Syria as part of the greater Israel movement. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's what they're doing.
Documented.
Yeah, well, it's not documented because it's top secret shit, but there are more so with the greater Israel thing, but there are actual concrete reports that reported by actual vetted news sources that these
If it's
people
reported,
that
it's
overthrew.
documented. That's
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the greater Israel thing. That's more of my conspiracy theory and a lot of people's. But when it comes to them supporting those rebels that overthrew Mossad's thing, they absolutely did that. They absolutely fucking did that. And there's rumblings that they funded ISIS because there's verifiable claims that Israel kind of had some weird involvement. Stuff came out that they may have been funding ISIS. It's really looking like it. And they do this shit all the fucking time. They've been doing it since Israel began and Mossad was established. They aggress all the fucking time, but because it's not an actual military thing, really, they can't target Israel and say hey, yeah, we're gonna invade you and fuck you up. They can't do that. And because because Israel has America in their pocket, there's a very good chance that American forces would get involved, completely wax these Muslim countries that would want to do harm to Israel. So Israel is essentially a mafia style thing with the way that they're funding all these foreign powers to have their back, even though they're not doing anything for these foreign powers. They have lobbies, more specifically in America. I'm not quite sure about Western Europe, but they have shit like IPAC so that they can pay off our politicians to vote in their favor and do things that benefit Israel, even if it's at the expense of the American people, which normally it fucking is. And they are aggressors in complete a shit ton of ways. They've just gamed themselves to a point where nobody can fuck with them.
That sounds like LeBron.
That's how Israel is.
That sounds like LeBron.
Well, LeBron's a deep state agent, pretty much. So he's involved to some extent with them.
I was gonna say if that's the case, why aren't these other countries paying America to do the same thing? But then I remembered that all those other countries fucking hate America.
Yeah,
They hate us in part because of fucking Israel. It's
Well, if
you
that
know.
was the only reason, they would pay us to do the same thing. They would pay us to be like, hey, no, vote for our stuff. And I feel like if they all jointly got together to do that, Israel would be toast. But I think they also just fucking hate America.
Yeah,
So
the hatred between Jews and Muslims, like you could sit there and talk for like 24 hours about how bad those motherfuckers hate each other, and you even scratch the surface. Really, what it boils down to is that they just hate each other that much, and they know that America is pretty much always going to be on, unless something happens. America is always going to be on the side of Israel. And they fucking know that, and that's why they don't really want to fuck with us, except for like a few of them. A few of them do, like Saudi Arabia. Really, like in the U.S., have a pretty good relationship, and there's some other ones too, like Kuwait really fucking likes us, and all sorts of shit like that. But it's the ones that like outside of maybe Saudi Arabia, it's the ones that like actually matter to like the makeup of the Middle East. They fucking really don't like us. Like
yeah,
the majority of the Middle East doesn't, and like half of it has to do.
I mean, I'm never gonna side with enemies of America, but I'm also not. I can see the problems with Israel, paying us to do this shit at our expense. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I'm generally against, or I'm generally more in favor. I don't even know how to word this. This is why I don't dive into it. It's so fucking complicated.
Yeah.
But I'm generally more against like the Islamic, like American hatred-centered countries, because Islam in general, like at baseline, is fucking violent, and I don't know anything about like the Torah.
Judaism. The Torah is like fucking violent as shit. They taught like they. I don't know. Not to sound like a fucking broken clock or whatever, but like. I don't know, chopping off a infant's foreskin and sucking the blood off his cock kind of seems a bit violent to me. And,
I don't know.
Saying that
I'm kind of on board with circumcisions.
Saying that anybody who's not Jewish is a lesser being seems kind of fucked up to me.
It's just I feel like Islamic people tend to be more openly hateful and violent, and
I'll take them over Israel any day.
Why?
Because we can eliminate them easier, and they're not the ones paying off our politicians to ruin our country. I mean, because
we can justify easier destroying them.
Not even just destroying the country. I just want IPAC gone. Israel can do whatever it wants. Realistically,
oh my God, IPAC.
That's the shit I'm talking about right there.
They control the fucking oil and shit.
Not even that. They just control our politicians. Like I think. What's the?
I mean, dude, they're the ones that came out and were like, "Hey, we can make oil cheaper, but we're not going to because like we're getting hella profits." And ever since that day, I was like, "Okay, I hate the Middle East."
Lol.
I've heard theories too that like we pulled out of the Middle East because now fentanyl's a thing and it's synthetic and we don't need to involve ourselves there anymore.
See, get this, all right? So I'm looking up. I look up how many American politicians are funded by IPAC. You would expect a Google AI thing to tell you. It does not.
Huh.
It does not.
Well,
wait, say that again?
So I looked up because I was about to give out a percentage of how many of our politicians are funded by IPAC, and it's like up in the 90th percentile. It's somewhere in there. And I looked up how many American politicians are funded by IPAC, right? Very simple question. Google AI just has to give me a number. Just how many of them are funded by IPAC? This is public knowledge. I don't get a Google AI at all. I get the IPAC page. I get Open Secrets, pro-Israel recipients, like some, I get IPAC sources and I get Open Secrets sources. So that goes to show that somebody at Google, which I'm pretty sure is owned by...
Holy crap. Okay, Discord just froze for like a super long time. I didn't
because they found out they found out this truth bomb.
Yeah, they're
What,
trying to
talking
find
about.
That's
Shane's
probably what happened.
location.
No, but those are the only sources I get. I don't get a Google AI or anything like, and that is something Google AI could tell me realistically. But
Wow.
just goes to show, right? Why wouldn't there? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why it would make sense not to show that.
I can't tell you why because I didn't hear anything you just said.
Okay,
I can
say it
myself
real
fucking
quick. I'll
clearly
say it
and
real quick.
concisely.
Also,
I looked up.
wait. Hold on. Stop looking the shit up on Google. First of all, first thing, you can't look anything up on Google because the search results are filtered and biased. Second,
Yeah.
you absolutely shouldn't go off of the AI overview because it's dumb as shit, and it'll tell you false information.
That's when you
You're
search up
missing
how
my
many
point. You're
testicles.
missing my point.
Okay, but your point is the foundation of your point right now is correct and uneven. If you want to look stuff up, it is because you're researching things incorrectly. Don't use AI. I understand what you're saying that they're Google isn't showing you the results because you don't know that.
Yes, I do.
Google currently is in the Google's currently in the pocket of fucking the Republican Party now.
Dude,
use Brave. I've had good experiences with that browser.
I don't know if I should cut off here or not, because this is falling down a steep hill of the same thing over and over.
Oh, look at this. It didn't give me Google AI, but cool. How many American politicians are funded by Saudi Arabia? Since 2015, Saudi Arabia paid $18 million to 145 registered lobbyists to influence the U.S. government. Why won't it give me that about Israel? I get it. Google is this fucking liberal company, whatever. But if I can get a number like that out of Saudi Arabia, why do they refuse to show me fucking Israel? It's because they are owned by a fucking Zionist. They're owned by a fucking Zionist Jew, and they don't want people to know how much influence off the bat Israel has in our politics because they want to keep people fucking stupid.
I'm saying you shouldn't base your opinions off of that.
I'm not basing any.
I'm just saying, I understand the correlation you're making,
but the biggest
you need real, actual, concrete information, which you can get.
It's the biggest search engine in the fucking world.
Why understand
that to my face?
Because it's the same reason that they when you search up this happens to me a lot. When I search up I want to go to Hyundai's website, it'll show me Ford, Honda, Toyota, and then Hyundai.
Those are ads.
I didn't ask for that.
Different.
I understand. What I'm saying is they're getting paid. They're getting paid to show you things that other people want you to see.
Logan, do you disable cookies?
Who's paying Google to do that?
I have no idea.
Logan, what does cookies do?
I'm just saying.
Paying Israel to censor APAC.
You threw out a number earlier. You said the 90th percentile shit. Yeah. You got that number from somewhere. Get your information from that source.
Logan,
I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying do better research. Don't just try to Google something and then come to the conclusion that I'm not seeing it because Israel blah. Get an actual fucking number.
Logan, I just keep on asking you, what do you do about cookies on your website?
You don't realize that it's the principle. It's not the.
I understand
the fucking principle.
When you're talking, when you're trying to be concrete and objective and factual, you can't go off principle, man. You need actual numbers and data.
I'm not going off. That's not what I mean by principle. I mean it's the principle that Google won't show you that shit that knows.
I know what you're talking about. I get it. I'm just saying. Do better research.
I think
it's pretty good research.
It's not.
What do you mean? I looked up numbers.
Because you're making an assumption.
For Saudi Arabia. And I got the numbers for Saudi Arabia.
Logan, you can do the same exact shit with Grok on Twitter.com.
No! Don't ask AI for shit. That's horrible.
But that's the same exact result you're gonna get.
Stop! Shut up for a second, Shane. Here's why this is a problem. Someone could be paying Google to not show those results to make Israel look bad. That is just as with what you've done, the conclusion you've come to, that is just as likely as Israel paying Google to not show those results. Versus if you actually dig into this a little bit, used unbiased search engines, use, like credible sources, then you can find out the truth of what's actually. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're coming to a conclusion and it's a fair conclusion to come to, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying dig into it a little bit more, because like I said, an enemy of Israel could be paying Google to not show that data in order to make them look suspicious. That's a little more far-fetched, but again, based off of how you came to that conclusion, it's equally as probable, because you don't know.
Google's acquisition of the Israeli cybersecurity Wiz in March 2025 for $3 billion is the largest acquisition in Israel's history. This signifies a significant investment by Google in the Israeli tech sector, particularly in the field of cloud security. While this is a major transaction, it's important to note that this is an acquisition of a company, not a direct investment from Israel into Google itself.
Logan.
See, and that leads more credence to what you said.
Logan.
Again, I'm not saying you're wrong, Shane. I'm just encouraging you to do more research like that.
Logan, Israel has seen our Minecraft realm.
Listen.
He shared it on the Google
haven't seen
Drive.
They have. Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow. Check this out. So I looked up
dude.
Wiz. I looked up Wiz. And I put Mossad at the end.
Stop.
No.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not.
No, I'm not saying that you think I'm wrong.
Okay, but you're coming at me like, oh, look at this.
I'm not coming at anybody.
Retard.
I'm not coming at anybody.
You're kind of.
I'm going down a rabbit hole here.
You're coming off like that.
I don't care how I'm coming off. I know how I.
I'm just
know
telling you
what I mean.
Okay. I'm just letting you know how it's coming off.
The phrase "Wiz Mossad" refers to the Wink, a cybersecurity company, and into the Israeli military unit 8200, specifically its acquisition by Google for $32 billion. The founders, as for Yanon Kostica and Amy Lutwak and Roy Resnick, are all former members of Unit 8200. This has led to some speculation about the implications of Google's acquisition, particularly regarding the relationship between Silicon Valley and the Israeli military intelligence establishment. I think I'm right, man.
I didn't say you weren't.
I
don't know why you're trying
to.
That was for the viewers.
He just keeps.
That was
digging.
for the viewers. For any viewers who think I'm wrong, how am I wrong? To anybody out there that thinks I'm wrong, how am I fucking wrong? I'm telling you, it all leads back to him.
The podcast was split into like 2 separate recordings that we just haven't used yet. So this next recording is from a long bit ago, like almost a year ago. So hopefully you enjoy.
When you do that.
Like, I understand Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus.
Real quick, I gotta pee.
Be
right back, boys.
No pee.
No pee.
Just in a bottle, you coward.
I'm saying no problem. You're fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was saying
I'll be back in a little bit.
But I'll just continue talking about Xbox Live, PlayStation Plus real quick.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of that way with that whole situation where you have to pay like $60 a year to play a video game on an online service.
Yeah.
Or you could just, get a PC and not worry about a line like that. You just immediately play whatever game online when you get it.
Well, Microsoft was the one that fucking kickstarted that, because PlayStation used to have free online play. And God, could you imagine the market advantage they'd have if they still made that shit on like free online?
Ooh,
insanity that they got rid of it. So yeah, PS3 had free online play, and I think they might have, like, in the middle of the PS3's lifespan, or when the PS4 came out, they just did away with it because they're like, why aren't we charging people for something we could be charging them for? Like, come on, like we're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. We need to make money, guys. We're hemorrhaging cash by not
Yeah.
doing that.
I think it's
fucking horrible.
I think it's smart for the business of Xbox to do so, but also they already got console sales. So I'm not sure
Xbox,
why they would need a yearly subscription on top of it.
Xbox has never been in the lead on sales, from what I've understood.
Yeah, but still, having something go for like 190 million sales is still a lot of money, especially when it's like 500 a thing.
It never matters to public companies because they're ran by shareholders who only care about making more money. Like, that is literally all any company will ever care about. Any public company, I should say, is just making more money. Like, that's it's fucking deplorable. You look at private companies like Steam and like Larian Studios, who are ran by one guy making the decisions, one guy who actually gives a fuck about what he's doing. And you notice that, those companies actually are still somewhat decent. Like, Steam's not perfect. Larian's pretty damn near perfect. But you look at that and it's like, that's the way it fucking should be. Where we're making decisions that aren't trying to actively fuck over the people that are buying our products.
If you want to talk about Helldivers...
I have returned.
If you want to talk about Helldivers, I'm fine with that. Because I understand why people are
that was
pissed
super
about
funny.
That.
No, I understand too. Like, dude, I what I don't understand is why people were maybe not defending it, but like, we're like, what's the big deal? You gotta link a PlayStation account to everything. That's the problem, my guy. I don't fucking want to do that.
Especially
why is it
since
that when I
Sony
buy
has
a new video
security
game,
system?
Yes. I mean, they all do, but Sony's the worst.
Yeah.
But why is it when I buy a fucking video game, I have to download a separate launcher, make an account for that launcher, then I have to like fucking get inundated with all these marketplace bullshit fucking ads? I want to download the game and play it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through this BS, man.
Like, well, didn't we talk about this last pod?
Helldivers?
Something like
I'm
that.
not sure.
We brought it up at some point, and I remember I made the comparison to the Uplay Pass from Ubisoft,
or like how that EA Play with
and EA Play. Yeah, we brought both of those up, and I'm very against the fact I don't even fucking play Helldivers 2. I play on the off chance I decide to play a video game, I play on the fucking Xbox. So like, I don't know, if I needed to have some separate account just to play that fucking game, I'd be like, go to hell.
Yeah. And
like, give me my money back.
That's another thing I want to bring up too, is like, there was such a drastic shift. Like, PC gaming used to be the fucking way. And then, this is just a pure coincidence, but as soon as I get into PC gaming, the paradigm shifts. Like, now playing on consoles is the way.
Yeah,
and I know why it is. Yes.
Kinda.
Because PC games just don't get fucking optimized. Like, you can't play the games you buy if you buy them on PC, because they don't care about PC ports. They care about launching it on the consoles, because that's where the money is, I'm assuming. Because we were talking about, you can force people to pay for the subscription, and you can't deal like on Xbox and PlayStation. Your games are better protected. They're still not perfect against like hackers and shit and like pirates and shit. And
I feel like if they came out with Steam Plus, literally everybody would just stop playing on Steam.
Well, they have the Steam. What do you mean?
Like, if you could only run online sections of the games you buy through Steam Plus or something like that.
Oh yeah. No, and that's what I was talking about. Like, Steam's a private company. They're owned by one guy. And that's why they're still kind of beloved, you know?
Yeah.
I think I know
Go ahead.
I know there's some controversy. Okay.
God damn
it.
I
know there's like some controversy with Steam right now because of this Team Fortress 2 shit that's going on. Because, like, I guess there's I've never played Team Fortress 2, but I guess there's like a bunch of bots and shit
Good
like
game.
ruining the game. I've heard. Game's also what, like 10, 12 years old?
Oh, 17.
Way more than that.
17.
Yeah, it's old as fuck. It's a
So-
senior in high school.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't fix it, because it does seem like a pretty easy fix, but like I do understand why Valve is not putting any effort into it, you know, because it's like they have Steam as their main money maker. No, that's CS:GO actually. I don't know.
Yeah, it's CS.
Valve has a lot of
for
other
sure.
money making avenues, right?
Yeah.
And while again, I don't want to say that they shouldn't fix their fucking shit, because there still is an active fan base that plays the game. The game is like 17 fucking years old at this
Yeah.
point, and maybe we should just kind of step away from it and get into something else. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Gary's mod has such a large traction for so long. And then, like, 2 years ago, the player base just disappeared on it.
Really?
Now it's just a bunch of, like, 11-year-olds in dark RPs, and that's it. So,
What the
there's
fuck is that?
It's the 11-year-olds and it's bub games fucking with them on
yeah,
Dark
that's
Arc.
about it. It's like barely even a landscape that you can play on anymore. And they also removed every Nintendo character, apparently, so you can't be Mario in that game now.
Damn, that was a
I heard about
staple of
that.
Thanos' content right there.
Yeah.
Mini Lad being... Well, didn't Mini Lad rape or something?
Mini Lad got canceled because
Okay,
he was a
never mind.
pedophile.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
never mind.
Yeah.
And forget I brought his ass up. Fuck that guy.
I love content creators. But no, I remember hearing about shit Tendo copyright striking the what, probably like 15-year-old Gary's mod,
Yeah.
because God forbid Nintendo loses a cent on any other fucking sales ever. You know, Nintendo, they literally can't afford to not copyright people. It's crazy.
I feel like the constant barrage of other people wanting to do, like, not... I'm having a stroke talking about it, but not playing those games anymore has kind of, like, messed up with the whole atmosphere that those games used to bring. Because for a long time, Gary's mod was kind of like CS:GO Surf in some ways, where it's more community driven than anything.
Yeah.
And then everybody just left it. It's the same thing with TF2. It used to be, we need to save this game. We love this game. We need to work on this game. And then everybody left it.
Yeah, I mean, I played TF2. I've played it off and on for like, I guess over 10 years at this point. I've been playing TF2 off and on. And back in like 2011 and 2012, when I was like a kid playing that game, the community felt like super fucking alive, and like you could like, people were making like source filmmaker shit, like adding like head cannons and like, dude, I sound like such a fag talking about this, but like I was like super into TF2 at the time, and then I picked it up again, and like when I was like 15 or something, I was playing it for a couple years. And then in 2018, I started playing it again. But I did notice that gradually that community had shifted from something more like where people wanted to like make art, or like any kind of art, really, not just like, you know, drawing a picture or something. You don't see that shit nowadays with TF2. And when I started playing it again in like 2018, after having played it for like a year or two, like from 2015 on, whatever, do your math. I'm not going to do it for you. No, in 2018, it felt a lot more bland. And the only thing really keeping the game alive, in my opinion now, is the cosmetics. And the only people that really give a shit about that are like legacy TF2 players. And those guys are starting to play the game less and less.
Yeah.
Well, do you know why?
Why?
The bot situation I was talking about, it basically,
Yeah.
when you load into a game, the second a NPC sees you, you just get fucking, what's the term for it?
Beamed.
Aimbotted, yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
And it's like, you don't even have an
Oh,
opportunity
God.
to fight back.
Dude,
Like, it is
I was a
literally-
big... I was a big sniper class player. I can only imagine the hell that is if you put a bot and you get the algorithm on said bot to only aim for the head, because 9 times out of 10 a headshot's going to kill literally any member of the team.
It reminds me of the guys with the mod menus in Black Ops 2 who would just like shoot their sniper in a random spot and kill you.
Yeah, check out my quick scope montage, and it's just them sitting in one place, and you can see like the fucking red rectangle around all the enemies across the map.
Yeah, they're shooting at the ground. They're not even shooting at
streak.
you. They're just shooting at the ground repeatedly. What a great
so like that's like that situation is causing new players to not even want to play the game, and it's just ruining the entire game for the veteran players. So
yeah, what I was going to say about the whole like consoles becoming the meta thing, one thing a lot of PC players I feel like they don't get is the fact that when like the next generation of games come out, you have to upgrade, you have to put like fucking $1,000 or whatever. Like, I'm not a PC player, so that, you know, do what you will with this number, but like $1,000 into like a new graphics card, new processor, all this shit just to get your computer to be able to run these new gen games. Whereas I can spend like $500 on like the new Xbox or the new PlayStation, and it's gonna run the game like pretty much fine.
Yeah.
And I hate to be this guy, but that's very much not true.
Yeah, it just depends on what the game
is. Please explain, Mr. PC Gamer we invited on our show. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Oh shit.
I'm fucking kidding.
Okay, shit. I will. No, if you, as long as like, so there's basically 2 avenues you can go down with PC gaming. If you invest the money and get brand new, like everything, like top of like brand new graphics card, brand new, you know, whatever else. And I don't know a ton about PC gaming, but this is what I do know about it. If you invest the money and get all the new parts, your PC is going to be rock solid for like 10, 15 years, which console generations come out every like 5 or 6 years. So you can,
I feel like it's more than that. I feel like it's every 10 years.
I feel like it feels like more than that. And I feel like the reason it feels like more than that is because when the PS5 came out, actually, I'll look up when the PS5 came out.
Well,
but they're still supporting the PS4, which pisses me off because when I went from the PS3 to the PS4, that was an immediate fucking cutoff. Like, nope.
Yeah, the PS3. That was why people are like concerned about the 360 for so many years. Because it was around for so long, and then the Xbox One came out, and they're like, how many years of the 360 do we still have?
Yeah, that's true, because I remember when the Xbox One came out, I was like, this is gay, nobody's going to buy it. And then everybody bought it, and it wasn't gay anymore because I had one.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, maybe this is fine.
Okay, so from PlayStation's timeline, at least, it looks like they come out every 7 years. So the PS3 released in 2006, the PS4 released in 2014.
Oof.
13 in North America.
Fuck.
Why did it release last in Japan?
I don't know.
2014
in Japan? Japan's funky.
Yeah, the Japanese fucking hate themselves, I guess. And then the PS5 came out in 2020.
I'm not buying a new PlayStation this year.
So I will say the PS5 feels a lot newer because we're not getting any fucking games on it. Yeah. No one's talking about it.
Yeah, it's because limitations when it comes to programming for the PS5 and both of the versions of the Xbox take forever. And usually they have to make the base build of the game for the Series X, and then they have to go back and rip out a bunch of shit for the Series S.
Well, that's an Xbox problem.
I know, but that causes more issues because technically it's 3 consoles instead of 2. That's why it takes longer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've heard this too.
I didn't think about that.
That's just an Xbox problem, though. Like, it's not a PlayStation problem. And if companies were smart, if that was really the issue, they would just release it to the PlayStation first.
Yeah,
Um,
but also they don't have exclusivities to a lot of stuff. They used to have a Call of Duty exclusivity until
That's
Activision
true.
bought
I
themselves
don't
into
think
Microsoft.
I don't think console exclusive things are a good thing. I just don't. It just forces the consumer to buy more product they don't want. Who wants both consoles? That's fucking
I mean,
useless.
Yeah,
a
no,
thousand
that is also
dollars.
true.
$1,000 is
It's
way too high for two consoles.
Yes, absolutely. Like it makes sense from a business standpoint, but surprise, surprise, the business standpoint is a fucking shitty standpoint. It's
Well,
not
yeah.
consumer friendly. It's never consumer friendly.
Well,
Um,
like why? Like I wanted to play Bloodborne when it came out, like really badly, but the
it is still
thing,
only on
yeah,
PlayStation.
it's only on
Wait.
PlayStation. So it's like, okay, do I want to spend between like $200 and $400 at the time Bloodborne came out to just to play that one game? Like, fuck
Well,
no,
and
I
even
don't.
even right now, it's still. Do I want to spend like up to $100 on on a PS4
Yeah.
so that I can spend another $20 on this game? No. The answer is no.
Yeah, and
And
historically, the fucking company that made Bloodborne made fucking Dark Souls, and that was on both platforms and
well,
PC.
so
They did
I've
all the
talked
ports at the same time.
to Ben about this because he is like Bloodborne's one of his favorite games.
Yeah,
It's because
rightfully so.
Sony owns Bloodborne, so that's the issue. Um, but back to what I was saying about PCs.
Yeah.
So like if you buy all the new parts, your PC can last you through 2 console generations, right? If you
Yeah.
just buy second or third gen parts for a heavy discount, because like right now I could buy a actually let me just look it up because I know we only have 300 viewers here, but there's always that one fucking guy in the
Hopefully.
comments.
Yeah, you always need
Uh,
facts to
90.
cover whatever you talk about. Yeah.
Yep,
Jamie,
39.
pull that up. Jamie,
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up real
Jamie,
quick.
what is
We are not
ayahuasca?
doing a Joe Rogan. Okay, so on
Oh
Amazon.
yeah, it says here that Bloodborne's fucking gay, and if you're talking about it, you're gay too.
Oh shit!
Thanks, Jamie. You fucking rule, dude.
Fuck yeah, Jamie.
Okay, that's kind of a crazy price. $1,269 for the last generation of graphics card. It is the
Oh, that's
found.
too
Hang
much.
on, hang on.
That's too much.
That was-
Oh,
that
that's
was-
too much money.
That was the Founders Edition. Okay, here we go. $569 for a 3090.
My
That's
gosh.
Is that
I mean
good?
that's top of the line. Like if we look at like a 3070.
Can I play Escape from Tarkov on that shit?
Hey, random fun
Yeah.
fact that I learned yesterday. Nvidia is the second biggest technology company behind
Yes.
Microsoft now.
I wonder what the N stands for.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
It's beep.
got him.
Here,
It's
the
beep.
3070 is like $350.
Whew.
With a 3070, I could play Baldur's Gate 3 right now on max graphics just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll
So
last.
maybe
So if
maybe
you buy
I'm
them,
capping.
I mean, $300 is still not far
I mean,
off.
it's good
from
money, but like even
$500
now, like
you would need to spend on a console.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like you could buy a PS5 used now for like 400 probably. Like for some reason, the prices on these newer gen consoles just refuse to budge that much.
I think it's because not enough of them have sold for them to bring it down. They're still looking at, oh, well, if we keep it at 500, we'll make back the budget we made to produce all of these consoles by blank.
Yeah,
and then it keeps
like
getting space back, you know?
Like I have the Series S, which is the cheaper version of the Series X.
Yeah, you have no
I got it.
CD drive.
Yeah, and well, that no disk drive shit is fucking stupid, and it annoys the fuck out of me, and I hate it. But I also don't want to shell out a bunch of money on the Series X. So I'm glad, if anything, Xbox did not like ramp up the price of the Series S.
so
You know, like
Shane,
they had another option
Yeah.
for poor people
I-
like me.
I thought the same thing, and then I learned that the PS5 that doesn't have the disc tray is the same price as the Series S.
There's
which
a
the
PS5 without a disc tray.
Yes, and
It's
it is
just
just
a
fucking know
router.
that.
It's just
a
a
basic-
router.
it's a regular PS5. It just doesn't have a disc tray.
I
And it
didn't know they
costs-
did that.
It costs the same as the Series S,
That's
which is
awesome.
which is less powerful. So it's like Xbox really fucking fumbled the bag with that, and I didn't know, like, because I bought Mary a Series S because she's like a little lightweight gamer,
Oh.
and she likes to play. I wanted to play Halo with her,
Oh.
and she also likes to play Viva Pinata and a bunch of other games.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I
and
know
I-
about Viva Pinata. I've been there.
What's up, babe?
Uh-oh.
Oh god, yeah. And now I'm actually gonna think about selling the Xbox because she got a new computer recently, and I said we should get you a gaming computer
Oh shit.
because she was gonna. It's a gaming laptop. She was going to buy a MacBook,
Damn.
and new MacBooks are like $2,000. So I was like, hey, why don't you let me help you out? So her budget, what was our budget? Like 3,500. So our budget was 3,500.
Hmm.
Totally would have spent that if we had bought like the MacBook, the new MacBook, and the accessories that come with it.
Yeah.
I got her a Lenovo Legion something bullshit, whatever. It's very good and strong. It runs Baldur's Gate 3 like fucking butter. I got her that. I got her a monitor. I got her a keyboard, and I got her a mouse for $1,800.
Damn.
That's pretty good for when it comes
Yeah.
to PC gaming, because for a while I was looking at building my own, and I soon realized just through like life events that wasn't going to happen, at least for a while. So I kind of gave up on it, but like spending that much on like a decent laptop with like the fucking gear to go with it, can't really complain there.
Honestly, no. And what I'll say about building your own PC, there's going to be people that tell you not to do that because it's more expensive. And it is. But you're also paying for the luxury of having it built for you by professionals, so you know that your shit didn't get fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's going to run.
I know
Now-
that from my faithful, I believe it was podcast number 7, where my SSD fucked up.
Forgot about
there was that.
Now, I will say too, like with that, that's not always a guarantee because Mary's same laptop, when we got it, I set everything up, everything was fine. It's just that the Wi-Fi receiver didn't work.
Yeah, I have that issue.
The one thing it needs
I have
to,
that issue, too.
the one thing you need to like use the computer didn't fucking work. So I had to
Right.
drive back to Columbus,
Oof.
like an hour and a half from my house, to return it and get a new one. Now the new one works fine, so like after that everything was cool, but what the fuck? That's not supposed to happen. And another point I want to make towards building your own PC, because it is cheaper,
Yeah.
because you can cherry pick the parts and get like the last gen stuff. Because another thing you gotta realize too is that you can play current generation games on hardware. I don't need hyper realistic graphics. I don't need the shadows to come out of my computer and suck my dick. I'm cool if they don't look good. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about ray tracing. So I can still I'm playing Destiny 2 right now on my fucking old piece of shit, stupid ass computer, and
You're
it's
playing
running
it.
fine.
You're playing it right now during the
Oh my
podcast.
gosh.
Holy
I've been
shit!
playing
So
it the entire
extreme.
time.
So extreme and amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've had no issues.
Well, speaking about the podcast, I believe we have reached the end.
One we're doing.
We have
Oh, really?
we have reached the end of this week's recording.
Well, hang on, let me finish my point. So
okay.
I'm just saying, like most computer stores, like Micro Center, will build the computer for you, and it's usually not very expensive to have them do it. So I've said my piece.
I'm a communist with a Gucci bag. Got my Prada kicks, yeah. Got to have my swag.